in blue. That indicates that that particular drafting setting is on. So for example, if I look here, you can see that my snap to drawing grid is on. We don't really need that. We're not using a drawing grid at this point. So what I'll do is I'll just switch that off and it goes grey. Dynamic input we talked about in the previous video, so we can leave that one on. Orthographic or ortho mode should be off. Polar tracking is on. You'll notice here ISO draft is off. We don't need that either at the moment. Object snap tracking should really always be on, as should your object snaps. And again, we're going to cover all of the functionality of these later on in the course. But as you can see, there are certain ones that I have switched on all the time that are blue. Now, like I said, we've got our workspaces here as well. Remember our workspaces that we talked about earlier? They're there as well. But as we move along, we've got a few others. Annotation monitor is off. You don't need to worry about that at all in this particular course. Isolate objects, we don't need to worry about that right now either. We're going to cover that later on in the course. You'll also notice that this is a trusted DWG file, hence the little green tick there. Last but not least, we have a thing called clean screen. It's a variable in AutoCAD. At the moment, it's off. But what it does is it gets rid of all your ribbon, your command line, your status bar, and leaves you just with a drawing area. My suggestion is don't click on it, not for this course anyway. Do it after you've done the course, and as you can see, it is a clean screen variable. If you click on it by mistake, all you've got to do is type clean screen. So if I type that in, that comes up. My typing is terrible today, as you can see. So there you've got clean screen on, clean screen off. So if you type it in, it comes up on the suggestion menu. So clean screen on, you select it and it's on. Clean screen off means that clean screen is off. So you've got the variables there if you need them, if you click on it by mistake. Hit escape a couple of times if you have typed that, just to get rid of your dynamic input. Last but not least, we did touch on this with the dynamic input. I can click here on the customization icon. It brings up my status bar list of all the functionality that I can have in my status bar. Suggestion: do not switch it all on at once. You'll end up with a very packed status bar, which kind of gets a little bit confusing. What I will suggest though, we've already put dynamic input on. There's a couple of others I'd like you to switch on for this course. One of them is coordinates, right there. So get the little tick next to coordinates. And about a third, I don't know, maybe even half of the way down, you've got line weight as well. So we'll switch on line weight, coordinates, and if you haven't done it already, dynamic input. Make sure that they're all ticked. Then we come down here to our little 3 lines again, click again, and that loses the customization menu. So what you'll notice now is we've got coordinates there that we've switched on. As we move our little mouse around, the crosshair picks up the coordinates. As we come along, there's dynamic input that we switched on earlier. And if we come along a little bit further, there's line weight there, the line weight display. Show or hide line weights in your drawing. Now, if you click on line weights, you'll see that certain lines get bolder because they have a certain line weight associated with them. Line weight is now blue and on. If I click on it again on the status bar, it turns it off. You'll find most of the drafting settings on the status bar. It's a click to turn them either on or off. But we will cover a lot of those later on as we work through this particular AutoCAD Essential Training course.